Welcome to today's class on differential geometry. Today we discuss geodesics. Geodesics are curves in n surfaces which play the same role as do straight lines in Rn. So we'll formulate the definition. So before that we will discuss some basic concepts. A vector field x along the parameterized curve alpha from I to Rn plus 1 is a function which assigns to each t in I a vector x of t at alpha of t. So you have a parameterized curve like this. Then at each point you are assigning a vector. Then that vector field is known as the vector field along the parameterized curve alpha. So a vector field x along a parameterized curve alpha from I to Rn plus 1 is a function which assigns to each t in I a vector x of t at alpha of t. That is, x of t belongs to R of alpha of t n plus 1 for all t in I. A function f along alpha is simply a function f from I to R. Thus, for example, the velocity alpha dot of the parameterized curve alpha from I to Rn plus 1 is a vector field along alpha. So this field is actually alpha dot. Its length modulus norm of alpha dot is a function from I to R defined by norm of alpha dot of t equal to norm of alpha dot of t for all t in I, which is a function along alpha. So this is a function along alpha and alpha dot is a vector field along alpha. Then this norm of alpha dot is called the speed of alpha. So in this figure at the point t1, alpha of t1 equal to alpha of t2 at this point. At a time t1 the particle is at here, and after at a time t2 the particle is here. So alpha of t1 equal to alpha of t2 at this point, but alpha dot of t1 is this vector and alpha dot of t2 is this vector. So alpha of t1 equal to alpha of t2 does not imply that alpha dot of t1 equal to alpha dot of t2. Thus vector fields and functions along parameterized curves frequently occur as restrictions. Thus, if X is a vector field on U, where U is an open subset of Rn plus 1 containing image alpha, then X composition alpha is a vector field along alpha. Similarly, F composition alpha is a function along alpha whenever F from U to R, where U contains the image of alpha. Each vector field X along alpha is of the form, this you know, X of t acting at alpha of t, its components are x1 of t, etc., xn plus 1 of t, where each component xi is a function along alpha. X is smooth if each component xi from I to R is smooth. Now we define the derivative of a smooth vector field x along alpha. It is denoted by x dot along alpha and is defined like this: x dot of t is at alpha of t dx1 by dt of t, etc., dxn plus 1 by dt of t, where x dot of t measures the rate of change of the vector part x1 of t, etc., xn plus 1 of t of x of t along alpha. Thus, for example, the acceleration alpha double dot of t of a parameterized curve alpha is a vector field along alpha obtained by differentiating the velocity vector field alpha dot. That is, alpha double dot is alpha dot dot. So you consider this, you consider the parameterized curve alpha of t, so that is this curve. Then at each point you are defining the velocity vector field, so this is alpha dot of t. So this is at the point t naught, this represents alpha of t naught and this represents alpha dot of t naught. Then its second derivative or derivative of alpha dot, that is alpha double dot of alpha double dot at t naught is the vector like this. So this represents the acceleration as the derivative of the velocity vector at the point t naught. Now we can do some problems. We can do these problems. We'll do second problem and remaining problems are homework for you. We'll do alpha of t is equal to cos t sin t. So you know that the solution velocity alpha dot of t is alpha of t d by dt of cos t d by dt of sin t. So this is equal to alpha of t, d by dt of cos t is minus sin t and d by dt of sin t is cos t. So this is the velocity vector. So acceleration alpha double dot of t, this is equal to alpha dot of t dot of t, alpha dot dot of t. So this is at alpha of t, d by dt of minus sin t, d by dt of cos t. So that is equal to alpha of t, d by dt of minus sin t is minus cos t, and d by dt of cos t is minus sin t. So this is the acceleration vector, and you know that speed is norm of alpha dot. This is equal to square root of minus sin t the whole square plus cos t the whole square. So this is square root of sin square t plus cos square t. So this is square root of 1, that is 1. So it is a unit speed parameterized curve. So the speed is 1. So remaining problem are homework for you. Now we do this problem, show that if alpha from I to Rn plus 1 is a parameterized curve with a constant speed, then alpha double dot of t is orthogonal to alpha dot of t for all t in I. So we'll solve this solution. Let the speed be constant. That is, norm alpha dot is a constant. So this implies alpha dot dot alpha dot is a constant. Therefore, d by dt of alpha dot dot alpha dot is 0. So this implies alpha dot dot alpha double dot plus alpha double dot dot alpha dot equal to 0. So this implies 2 times alpha dot dot alpha double dot equal to 0. So this implies alpha dot dot alpha double dot is equal to 0. So this implies alpha double dot of t is orthogonal to alpha dot of t. That is, this is for all t in I. So this is what we have to prove. Now we can do this problem. Solution A, x plus y whole dot is actually equal to d by dt of x plus y. These are vectors. And let x equal to, at alpha of t, x1 of t, x2 of t, etc. xn plus 1 of t. Is a vector field along alpha, and y equal to alpha of t, y1 of t, y2 of t, etc. yn plus 1 of t. These are 2 vector fields along alpha. Then know that vector x plus y is at alpha of t, x1 of t plus y1 of t, x2 of t plus y2 of t, etc. xn plus 1 of t plus yn plus 1 of t. Therefore, d by dt of x plus y is alpha of t, d by dt of x1 of t plus y1 of t plus comma d by dt of x2 of t plus y2 of t, etc. d by dt of xn plus 1 of t plus yn plus 1 of t. So this is equal to alpha of t, x1 dot of t plus y1 dot of t, etc. xn plus 1 dot of t plus yn plus 1 dot of t. So you can write this as alpha of t, d by dt of x1 of t, etc. d by dt of xn plus 1 of t plus alpha of t, d by dt of y1 of t, etc. d by dt of yn plus 1 of t. that is equal to, x dot of t plus y dot of t. So this is what we have proved. We can do the second problem. B, fx dot is at alpha of t d by dt of fx. So this is equal to at alpha of t d by dt of fx1, fx2, etc. fxn plus 1. So this is at alpha of t d by dt of fx1, d by dt of fx2, etc. d by dt of fxn plus 1. At each point you use the product rule. This is alpha of t f d by dt of x1 of t plus f prime into x1 of t. Then f d by dt of x2 of t plus f prime x2 of t, etc. f d by dt of xn plus 1 of t plus f prime xn plus 1 of t. So this is equal to alpha of t f prime x1 of t, f prime x2 of t, etc. f prime xn plus 1 of t plus alpha of t f d by dt of x1 of t, etc. d by dt of f, etc. f into d by dt of xn plus 1 of t. So this is actually equal to f prime x plus f x dot. And you can do C similarly using the property of dot product. Now we define geodesic. A geodesic in an n surface S in Rn plus 1 is a parameterized curve alpha from I to S whose acceleration is everywhere orthogonal to S. That is, alpha double dot of t belongs to S alpha t per for all t in I. Thus, a geodesic is a curve in S which always goes straight ahead in the surface. Its acceleration serves only to keep it in the surface. It has no component of acceleration tangent to the surface. So a geodesic is a parameterized curve alpha whose acceleration is everywhere orthogonal to S. We write a remark, or you write as a question. Show that the geodesics have constant speed. Solution: let alpha of t be a geodesic on an n surface S. Then you know that norm of alpha of t square, norm of alpha dot of t square is alpha dot of t dot alpha dot of t. Therefore, d by dt of norm of alpha dot of t square is d by dt of alpha dot of t dot alpha dot of t. So that is equal to alpha dot of t dot alpha double dot of t plus alpha double dot of t dot alpha dot of t. So this is equal to 2 times alpha dot of t dot alpha double dot of t dot alpha double dot of t. And since alpha of t is a geodesic, alpha double dot of t belongs to S alpha of t per. That is alpha double dot of t dot alpha dot of t is equal to 0. Therefore, from this d by dt of norm of alpha dot of t the whole square is 0. So this implies norm of alpha dot of t is a constant. You know that norm of alpha dot of t is speed. Therefore, the speed of geodesics are constant. So this proves that question. Now take another question. Example. Let alpha of t is equal to p plus tv, where t belongs to I, p and v belongs to s. Show that alpha is a geodesic on S. If alpha of t belongs to S for all t, then you know that alpha dot of t is b and alpha double dot of t is equal to 0 for all t in I. Therefore, alpha double dot of t belongs to S alpha t per. This is because alpha double dot of t dot alpha dot of t equal to 0 for all t. Therefore, acceleration is everywhere orthogonal to S. Show that for each a, b, c, d in R, the parameterized curve alpha of t equal to cos at plus b, sin at plus b, ct plus t is a geodesic in the cylinder x1 square plus x2 square equal to 1 in R3. Here, the surface S is the cylinder x1 square plus x2 square equal to 1. That is S is f inverse of 1 where S is f inverse of 1 where f of x1, x2, x3 is x1 square plus x2 square. Given that alpha of t is equal to cos at plus b, sin at plus b, ct plus t, therefore alpha dot of t is at alpha of t, derivative of this one minus a sin at plus b, derivative of this one a cos at plus b, and derivative of this one with respect to t, that is c. Similarly, alpha double dot of t is the derivative of alpha dot of t, so that is at alpha of t minus a square cos at plus b minus a square sin at plus b, then derivative of c is 0. Then you know that n of p is del f of p by norm del f of p, so that is p dou f by dou x1, dou f by dou x2, dou f by dou x3 divided by norm of del f of p. You know that dou f by dou x1 is 2x1, dou f by dou x2 is 2x2, and dou f by dou x3 is 0 divided by square root of 2x1 square plus 2x2 square plus 0 square. So that is at p 2x1, 2x2, 0, 2 in the square root of x1 square plus x2 square. You know that square root of x1 square plus x2 square is 1. So ultimately you are getting n of p is p x1, x2, 0. Therefore, at alpha of t, you know that the coordinates of alpha of t are cos at plus b, sin at plus b, and ct plus t. So this is x1, this is x2, and this is x3. So n of alpha of t is at alpha of t x1. x1 is cos at plus b and x2 is sin at plus b. So substitute it here. Cos at plus b, sin at plus b is 0. So that is the equation 2. Now you consider equation 1. Take this as equation 1. Alpha double dot of t is this one. You take a square outside. We are getting a square alpha of t. You know that alpha double dot of t is alpha of t minus a square cos at plus b minus a square sin at plus b 0. So this is minus a square alpha of t cos at plus b sin at plus b 0. So that is minus a square n of alpha of t. You know that n of alpha of t this is this one. That is alpha double dot of t belongs to s of alpha of t per. It is in the direction of alpha double dot of t is in the direction of normal vector. So this is therefore alpha double dot of t belongs to s alpha t per, s of alpha of t per, where s of alpha of t is the tangent space at alpha of t. Therefore, alpha of t is the geodesic on the cylinder. So from the previous discussion, you have seen that alpha of t is equal to cos at plus b sin at plus b ct plus d is the geodesic in the cylinder. X1 square plus x2 square is equal to 1. So you have, this is the cylinder, x1 square plus x2 square equal to 1. And when a equal to 0, when a equal to 0, we have alpha of t is cos b sin b ct plus d. So it is actually the line ct plus d on the cylinder. You know that cos square b plus sin square b is 1. So cos b sin b is a point on the cylinder. So this line is the geodesic, ct plus d on the cylinder. It's a line on the cylinder as shown in A. When b is 0, alpha of t is cos at sin at d. So it is the circle, it is cos at sin at d. So it is the circle on the cylinder when x3 equal to d. So it is this circle. So this height will be d. And when a not equal to 0, c not equal to 0, you are getting the geodesic as alpha of t is equal to cos a t plus b sin a t plus d ct plus d. So that is actually the helix. This helix on the cylinder. So that is the observation. Now we are going to show that the great circle alpha of t is equal to cos a t sin a t is a geodesic on the two sphere x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square is equal to 1 in R3. So solution. Here the surface is S is equal to F inverse of 1, where f of x1, x2, x3 equal to x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square. Therefore, n of alpha of t or n of p is del f of p divided by norm del f of p. So this is equal to, at p, 2x1, 2x2, 2x3 divided by square root of 4x1 square plus 4x2 square plus 4x3 square. So this is equal to, at p, 2x1, 2x2, 2x3 divided by 2 into square root of x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square. So this is at p. You know that x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square is 1. So it is, so that is equal to, at p, x1, x2, x3. So this is n of p. Therefore, n of alpha of t is at alpha of t. You know, first component of alpha of t is cos at, is cos at and sin at is 0. And you know, alpha of t is alpha of t cos at sin at is 0. So this implies alpha dot of t is at alpha of t a minus a sin at, a cos at 0. And alpha double dot of t is at alpha of t minus a square cos at minus a square sin at 0. So this is equal to minus a square at alpha of t cos at sin at 0. So this is minus a square into, you know that n of alpha of t cos at sin at 0. So this is minus a square into n of alpha of t. That is alpha double dot of t is in the direction of n of alpha of t. So this implies alpha double dot of t belongs to S alpha of t perpendicular to the tangent space. So this implies alpha of t is a geodesic on the sphere x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square equal to 1. So you have seen that alpha of t is equal to cos at sin at is a geodesic. You can see that this is the circle on the sphere. It is the great circle on the sphere, and when a is 0, alpha of t is cos 0 sin 0. So this is 1 0. The point simply reduces to the point 1 0. Otherwise it is the great circle. You can see it from the following figure. So this is a circle cos at e1 plus sin at e2. When e1 and e2 are I and j, we will get the circle here. When e1 and e2 are j and k, you will get the circle here, etc. So the great circles are the geodesics on the two sphere. Now we prove this theorem. Let S be an n surface in Rn plus 1. Let P belongs to S and let V belongs to SP. Then there exists an open interval I containing 0 and a geodesic alpha from I to S such that 1. Alpha of 0 is equal to P and alpha dot of 0 is equal to V. B. If beta from I tilde S to S is any other geodesic in S with beta of 0 is equal to P and beta dot of 0 is equal to V, then I tilde is contained in I and beta of t is equal to alpha of t for all t in I tilde. Remark, the geodesics alpha is called the maximal geodesics on S passing through P with initial velocity V. Such geodesics are called the maximal geodesics in S passing through P with initial velocity V. So this theorem proves the existence of a maximal geodesic on an n surface. So proof, we let S equal to f inverse of C for some C in R and some smooth function f from U to R, U open in Rn plus 1 with del f of P not equal to 0 for all P in S. This is possible since S is an n surface. Since del f of P not equal to 0 for all P in some open set containing S, we may assume by shrinking U necessary that del f of P not equal to 0 for all P in U and set n is equal to del f by norm del f. By definition, a parameterized curve alpha from I to S is a geodesic if and only if its acceleration is everywhere perpendicular to S. That is, if and only if alpha double dot of t is a multiple of n of alpha of t for all t in I. That is, alpha double dot of t is g of t into n of alpha of t, because alpha double dot of t is everywhere perpendicular to S, and so it is in the direction of n of alpha of t. That is, alpha double dot of t is equal to g of t into n of alpha of t, where g of t is a real number for all t in I, where g from I to R. Taking the dot product of both sides of this equation with n of alpha of t, we get g is equal to alpha double dot of t dot n of alpha of t, that is equal to alpha dot n of alpha whole prime minus alpha dot n composition alpha dot, that is minus alpha dot n composition alpha dot. So we can explain that. Consider alpha dot of t dot n of alpha of t prime. This is equal to alpha double dot of t dot n of alpha of t by product rule plus alpha dot of t dot n of alpha of t dot, so that this implies this is equal to, you take this to this side, you take this quantity to this side, so you are getting alpha dot of t dot n of alpha of t prime, that is minus alpha dot of t dot n of alpha of t dot, that is equal to, so you can express this in this form, this is equal to, this implies alpha double dot dot n composition alpha, that is this one, this is equal to alpha dot dot n composition alpha the whole prime, that is this expression, minus alpha dot dot n composition alpha the whole dot, that is this expression. So this is equal to, you know that alpha dot is orthogonal to n composition alpha, so this is 0. So this is 0 minus alpha dot dot n composition alpha the whole dot. So this is minus alpha dot dot n composition alpha dot. And from this, you know that alpha double dot of t, this is equation 1. You know that alpha double dot of t is a scalar multiple of g of n of alpha. This is g of t into n of alpha of t. Therefore, alpha double dot dot n composition alpha, this is equal to g of t dot n composition alpha dot n composition alpha. So these are vectors. These are all vectors. So this is actually 1. So this implies g of t is equal to alpha double dot dot n composition alpha. So this is equal to minus alpha dot dot n composition alpha dot. So we're getting this. That is g of t is equal to alpha dot minus alpha dot dot n composition alpha dot. Therefore, you consider this equation alpha double dot of t star. For substituting in star, we get how the equation star is this, alpha, we get alpha of t is a geodesic if and only if alpha of t satisfies the differential equation alpha double dot of t equal to minus alpha dot of t dot n composition alpha of t dot into n of alpha of t. So alpha of t is a geodesic if and only if alpha of t satisfies this differential equation. That is alpha satisfies the second order differential equation alpha double dot of t plus alpha dot of t dot n composition alpha dot of t into n composition alpha of t equal to 0. So we're getting this. Thus alpha from I to S is a geodesic if and only if it satisfies the differential equation alpha dot plus alpha dot dot n composition alpha dot into n composition alpha equal to 0. Take this as equation G. This is second order differential equation in alpha. If you write alpha of t is equal to x1 of t etc. xn plus 1 of t, this vector differential equation becomes the system of second order differential equations d square xi divided by dt square plus sigma over j k equal to 1 to n plus 1 ni of x1 x2 etc. xn plus 1 dou nj by dou xk of x1 x2 etc. xn plus 1 dxj by dt dxk by dt equal to 0. So you can do it where nj are the components of n. By the existence theorem for solution of such equations, there exists an open interval I1 about 0 and a solution beta 1 from I1 to u for this differential equation satisfying the initial conditions b1 of 0 equal to p and b1 dot of 0 is equal to p. That is satisfying xi of 0 is equal to pi and dxi by dt of 0 is equal to vi for I belongs to 1 to etc. n plus 1, where p is p1 p2 etc. pn plus 1 and v is p v1 etc. vn plus 1. Moreover, this solution is unique in the sense that if beta 2 from I2 to u is another solution of G with beta 2 of 0 is equal to P and beta 2 dot of 0 is equal to V, then beta 1 of T is equal to beta of T for all T in I1 intersection I2. It follows that there exists a maximal open interval I, which is a union of all the domains of solutions of G, which maps 0 to P and have initial velocity V, and a unique solution alpha from I to G, I to U of G, satisfying alpha of 0 is equal to P and alpha dot of 0 is equal to V. Furthermore, if beta from I tilde to U is any other solution of G with beta of 0 is equal to P and beta dot of 0 is equal to V, then I tilde is contained in I and beta is the restriction of alpha to I tilde. This is from the existence and uniqueness theorem of differential equations. Now, to complete the proof, it remains only to show that the solution alpha of G is actually a curve in S. So, you have to show that image alpha is equal to some f inverse of C. You know, f inverse of C is S. So, for this, if the image alpha is contained in S, it must be a geodesic since it satisfies the geodesic equation G. And the rest of the theorem follows from the uniqueness statements above. To see that alpha is in fact a curve in S, note first that for every solution I to U of G, alpha dot n composition alpha is 0. So you can illustrate these things like this. We have alpha double dot plus alpha dot n composition alpha dot into n composition alpha is 0. Taking dot product with n composition alpha, we get alpha double dot plus alpha dot n composition alpha dot into n composition alpha dot n composition alpha. This is equal to 0. So this implies alpha double dot n composition alpha plus alpha dot n composition alpha dot into n composition alpha dot n composition alpha. This is equal to 0. You know that n composition alpha dot n composition alpha is 1 because it is a unit vector. So this implies alpha dot n composition alpha plus alpha dot n composition alpha dot equal to 0. This is actually alpha dot n composition alpha. This is alpha dot n composition alpha whole prime equal to 0 because alpha dot n composition alpha prime is alpha double dot n composition alpha plus alpha dot n composition alpha dot. This is equal to 0. Therefore, this implies alpha dot n composition alpha is a constant. So you are getting alpha dot n composition alpha is a constant along alpha. So that is the explanation of this step. Now we will explain this. Now you know that alpha dot n composition alpha of 0. This is equal to alpha dot of 0 dot n composition alpha of 0. So alpha dot of 0 is PV dot n of P. So this is 0 because PV, the vector V is orthogonal to n. This is 0 since V belongs to SP. Therefore, alpha dot n composition alpha of 0 is 0 for all t in I, because you know that alpha dot n composition alpha is a constant along alpha, and now you are getting alpha dot n composition alpha of 0 is 0. Therefore, alpha dot n composition alpha is 0 for all t in I. Now you consider f composition alpha prime of t. So you know that this is del f of alpha of t dot alpha of dot of t, n of alpha of t dot alpha dot of t. You know n of alpha of t dot alpha dot of t is 0. Therefore, f composition alpha prime of t is 0. So this implies f composition alpha is a constant. And you know f of alpha of 0 is f of p, and f of p is c since p is a point on S. So f of alpha of t is a constant for all t implies, and so since f of alpha of t is a constant for all t in I, and f of alpha of 0 is equal to c, implies f of alpha of t is equal to c for all t in I. That is, alpha of t belongs to f inverse of c, or image of alpha is contained in f inverse of c, that is equal to S. So you have the curve alpha belongs to S, and you know that it is the solution of the differential equation G, so it is a geodesic. So this proves that theorem. Now we can do these problems as a homework. So you can follow the examples. You can refer the examples we have done to do these problems. An n surface S in Rn plus 1 is said to be geodesically complete if every maximal geodesic in S has a domain R. Now, to do these problems, which of the following n surfaces are geodesically complete? You can see that n sphere is geodesically complete. So try these problems as homework.